What's up, guys? Theo here. So this is an early prediction for next week's card, Barboza versus Yusuff. I'm just going to be predicting the main event right here because I haven't done a deep dive into the entire card. It looks like a pretty boring card, to be honest with you, but the main event should be pretty good. Anyway, yeah, Edson Barboza is going up against Sodiq here. Right now, Sodiq Yusuff is a minus 170 favorite, and Edson Barboza is a plus 134 dog, at least on the betting sites that I'm looking at. That's the line that I'm seeing. And I had a pretty good feeling Sodiq Yusuff was going to be the favorite for this fight, just because he's looked pretty good in the UFC lately, and he's one of those guys that doesn't really get a lot of respect or talked about a lot, but he does really good work inside the octagon. He's a really good fighter here. The issue is I don't think he should be a 170 favorite over Edson Barboza. Barboza has fought like literally some of the best fighters that have ever lived. Barboza has fought Khabib, he's fought other people, and he's still looking really good, man. He knocked out Billy Quarantillo with like a knee to the abdomen in his last fight, and that was a pretty crazy fight. And before that, I believe he lost to Bryce Mitchell, and he had another loss before that. I can't quite remember. I think it was Giga Chikadze or something like that. But man, he's only been losing to the absolute best guys that there are. Like, he's losing to top level featherweights because he does not have the strongest ground game, and that can be exploited. But also, you know, he's losing to people like Giga. He's just getting outstruck by Giga. That was a really crazy fight. And he still looks good inside the octagon. He's a little old, and you're going to have, I promise you, you're going to have a lot of cappers saying, well, it's just going to be one of these days till he drops off a cliff, you know what I'm saying? And they're trying to factor that into their betting, but the reality is that until we actually see that happen, you are never going to be able to predict the fight that a veteran drops off a cliff. I have never seen any capper or anybody accurately predict that moment. You can't. So why add that into the equation? Don't think about that. He looked good in the fight against Quarantillo. He didn't really look slow, per se. He still honestly looked like a fresh fighter. He doesn't look old and washed just yet. And he has made a career out of styling on guys who have the exact same style as Sodiq Yusuff here. This is a bad stylistic matchup for Sodiq Yusuff. Sodiq is the younger guy. I'm not sure by how much, but I know he's younger than Barboza. And he's a really good, solid fighter, man. But like I said, Barboza's whole thing is shutting down these guys that are kind of like, you know, Sodiq Yusuff is mostly a boxer. I mean, he throws a lot of kicks, but he doesn't really do a lot of grappling. He gets submissions on guys sometimes. Like, he got a submission on Don Shainis because he's good at getting guys up close and getting them in standing submissions and things like that. And he does a lot of grinding against the cage. But he's not really amazing at any of those things, and he gets completely, like, I don't know, man. He's a bit slow and plodding, and I feel like Barboza is just like bad for him because Barboza is known for fucking guys up like this, you know? He's getting beaten by specialists. Barboza is getting beaten by Bryce Mitchell, who completely out-grappled him, Khabib, who completely out-grappled him. He got beat by Giga because he got out-kickboxed. I mean, he's losing to specialists, and he's beating these guys like Quarantillo, who's overrated, but he's still pretty good. He's beating guys like Quarantillo, who are younger than him and have a lot of hype behind them. You know, he's still beating guys that are good. And, man, I don't think Sodiq is like top UFC level talent. I just don't. I think he's I think he's a high level guy, and he's always going to be high level, but he's going to be a bit of a gatekeeper. I just genuinely believe that about him. But he's very good, man. I just think this is a bad stylistic matchup for Sodiq, and I don't think he should be that much of a favorite. I'm honestly pretty surprised he's that high of a favorite. And I think if a lot of people don't take Edson in this spot at plus money, I think that's bad, man. I think a lot of people should be on Edson here. I haven't listened to a lot of other opinions about this, but I would be very surprised if a lot of people pick Sodiq here, because Sodiq could obviously win if he can get him up against the cage and catch him in a weird submission, but Edson has survived submissions against Bryce Mitchell, Khabib. I mean, I don't think he got submitted by Khabib, and he didn't get submitted by Bryce Mitchell. Yeah, man. I just feel like this is a good matchup for Edson here. And at plus money, he hasn't slowed down yet, so give me that guy. I just think Sodiq is not ever going to be that super high level. And if you think that about a fighter, then you have to come to the realization that at some point they're going to hit a setback. And Sodiq has been winning fights. He lost to Arnold Allen, but it was a close fight. Man, I just feel like it's a bad stylistic matchup for him, man. So I'll take Edson at plus money. I might put a unit on him, maybe half a unit if I start seeing things I don't like throughout the week, like reads that I agree with, or if Edson doesn't look good on the scale or something, or I see some evidence why he might not look good, then maybe we'll put more on Edson, but probably we're going to go with a unit on him. Anyway, keep it locked in, guys. I'll come in with more predictions on this card as the week goes on, but I haven't done a full deep dive into it yet. Anyway, later.